No, for guys like yourself who had a year in Todd's system, how much more, I guess, how much helpful you think that would be for the guys coming back to be in year two?
Uh, it's very helpful because we know how he thinks, and even in this off season, he's done a really good job of allowing us to dive even deeper in his thought process and how he sees his offense working between him, Coach Harbaugh, T. Martin, Coach Lewis, our receiver coach. Everybody wants us to truly understand the objective, why we're running routes, why we're getting out of routes, what we're seeing from defenses, and what it looks like for us to, do what we need to do well.
Like from year one to year two, I know these are kind of early days in the install, but how much would you say has changed for this offense?
First, familiarity is a positive, so we're more familiar. So in terms of change, I would say it's just a better understanding. Better understanding allows you to play fast. Better understanding allows you to make adjustments. So the change is more of the knowledge and how we're teaching things that work really well and how we're trying to eliminate things that we may have struggled at. That's what got better.
The last game of the playoffs is always one that the Sixers guys, we've asked a couple guys about, how they're moving on. Or some guys are thinking about it, some guys are moving on. How are you approaching that Kansas City game that ended last season?
I probably have a different approach than most because each year has a new life. You're always motivated by shortcomings, but you also have to embrace the new opportunity. Everybody has the same goal right now in the NFL. Every player has the same goal, every team has the same goal, and that's to get the Lombardi. So what happened last season can fuel you in terms of your focus, but you have to be present with what you're being taught now.
Signing the extension, I guess, how did that come about? Why did you want to be here longer, and what are your goals just, in this next year?
Well, first of all, I'm blessed to be in year 10. If you told me as a child I'd play 10 years in the National Football League and feel the way I feel, I would scratch my head because I feel amazing. I have a lot of fun doing what I do. I could run all day and have a good time. So that's a blessing. But then to do it here, this place makes it even more enjoyable. This is family, this is home, familiarity, and just a great group of dudes, from my quarterback to the guys I play receiver with to the guys I practice with every day on the defensive side of the ball. They make me better, but we also just enjoy each other. So I couldn't be more happy that I got to play year 10 in Baltimore and live here and do what I do.
You're in year 10, Zay's in year 2, Rashad's in year 4. What do you think we're going to see from these two this year?
Competition. They're going to compete. They're going to get better. They're going to make a lot of plays. I think those two guys are two very electric players, but also two very tough-minded dudes. And that's what you get from veterans. You get tough-minded, you get resilient, where next play mentality. Because if everybody thought that you're going to be perfect week in and week out, that's a lie. A veteran separates himself from a rookie because he has a next play mentality, and he's able to bounce back when things don't go ideal. And I think those two guys have done a great job of that. Bateman has done an amazing job. And Zay, man, he's hungry. He's hungry, and he's a great player.
I think you've worked out with him a couple times on your own, Zay. What stuck out to you about just what it's like working out with him?
I just love the way he likes to work, honestly. He's a young dude that loves football. He loves grinding. He loves just anything about it, whether we're route running, whether we're speed training, whether we're weightlifting, whether we're doing recovery. He's embraced everything I've kind of introduced him to or ideas he's had. He's like, yo, Nelly, you want to join me with this? Or, Nelly, can I join you with that? And it's cool because, that's where the brotherhood comes from. And that's when, crucial situation, third and whatever, you trust each other and you work well for each other.
What do you think of the two rookie corners, T.J. Tampa and Wiggins? What have you seen from them, and what is it like when you're lining up against these guys, when you're the veteran going up against some of these rookies? Do you approach it differently? How do you go?
First thing I do is I truly want to make them feel comfortable in terms of, I'm happy you are here because they will make us a better football team. I truly believe that. And then when we compete, if I even get one little bit on them, I'll let them know. So they could feel like, man, I'm not gonna let this old head, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's a good thing. And they're both super competitive, and they have great feet, and they got good feel, and they're gonna get better. It's my job as an older guy to be present and alive when I go against them. I can't relax. I have to, like, do things, different things I know from creativity, from guys I've learned from back in the day, and also share some information I know of other corners I've gone against. But I think they're two talented dudes, and I'm grateful to play with them.
I know you guys have a lot of confidence in Josh as a quarterback, but what's it like to have when you have practice and you have Lamar out there throwing the ball?
I mean, Lamar Jackson's Lamar Jackson. You know, he does an amazing job, you know, just kind of going through his progression. You know, he has unreal arm angles, but he also just knows how to see everything the way he needs to see it in the game and, you know, when the defense is giving you something. He does a great job. But like you started, you're talking about Josh. Josh has done an amazing job this offseason. You know, he just continues to lead. He continues to, like, put everybody in position. And he's also doing a good job helping the two younger quarterbacks. You know, and Lamar does a great job because those two young quarterbacks see a guy just execute and just have command. Lamar has command without it being overly like, he could just do it. You know, he does it and we understand it.
Speaking of Lamar, it looked like you joined, you know, him and Zay down in South Florida, I think it was last week. Did you run stuff with them, and what kind of stuff did you all sort of work on, talk about?
Top secret. But we were training, getting better. You know, we're all Floridians, so we enjoy training down there in that heat, and it's a good time.
And what do you see just from him? I know it's obviously early days, but you know, from your first impressions when you got here last year to now.
I mean, I got to spend time with him last offseason also, and I always say people don't realize how cerebral LeBron Jackson is. The conversations he has with you one-on-one about what he sees and what you may see, like even today, like I'll be honest, I had an in-cut, like basic, and my mannerisms was the reason why I didn't complete the ball because I saw something and he saw something else. And whether we completed it or not just then, I got better when I walked to the sideline and he showed me on the film, he's like, yo, Nelly, the reason why I'm thinking keep going is because I look at this nickel and I see his body language. I said, well, I did take a snapshot of the nickel and I thought he was gonna drop, but he said, he ain't gonna get there by the time I'm gonna zip it. I'm gonna zip it 2 yards here. And that was what makes a special quarterback special because you may see something, but when they allow you to see what they see, you now can be consistent with your, mannerisms and your cuts.
Thank you, Nelly.
Appreciate y'all. Have a great day.